listen closely, and let these words guide your mind each morning. The moment you wake, remember this: your mind is yours, and it is the most powerful tool you have. If you allow it to be weak, scattered, or ruled by fear and desire, your entire day will follow the same path. But if you train it, discipline it, and direct it, nothing can stop you. Start by understanding that the world will not always give you what you want. People will be unfair. Life will be difficult. Obstacles will appear. But none of these things have the power to control you unless you let them. Your power lies in your choices, your actions, your responses. No one can take that from you. The first and most important step in taking charge of your life begins with your mind. If your mind is chaotic, scattered, or ruled by impulses, the day will follow the same pattern. You may feel powerless, overwhelmed, or frustrated, as if the world is pushing you around. But the truth is, your mind is the control center of your life. What happens in the world around you does not determine your peace or your power. Your mind does. When you learn to control your mind, you take control of everything else. The moment you wake, remind yourself that no one can dictate your thoughts. No one can force your reactions, and no one can decide the attitude you will carry into the day. All of that is in your hands. To control your mind, you must first observe it. Notice the thoughts that arise when you wake up. Are they fearful, anxious, or complaining about the day ahead? Or are they calm, focused, and ready to act with purpose? By simply noticing your thoughts without judgment, you begin to create space between impulse and action. This space is where control is born. It is where you choose not to be carried away by every passing emotion or distraction. The mind that reacts instantly is weak. The mind that pauses, reflects, and decides is strong. Discipline is essential in training the mind. You cannot expect to wake up one day and suddenly have complete control over your thoughts. It must be practiced, nurtured, and strengthened every morning. Start with small exercises. Take a few minutes to breathe, to center yourself, and to remind yourself of what matters most. Decide what you will focus on, and let that guide your actions. Even small efforts to direct your attention build mental strength, and over time, the mind becomes sharper, calmer, and unshakable. Control also requires letting go of what is outside your power. Much of the stress and frustration in life comes from chasing things that cannot be controlled. Other people's actions, the events of the world, even your own past mistakes, these are not yours to dictate. When the mind clings to them, it becomes restless and weak. But when you release what cannot be changed and focus only on your thoughts, your choices, and your effort, the mind becomes free. It is this freedom that allows you to act clearly and decisively. You begin to notice that the day is no longer a series of pressures and distractions, but a series of opportunities to act with wisdom and strength. Another key to controlling your mind is to train it to focus on the present moment. So often, the mind drifts into worry about the future or regret about the past. When this happens, the day slips away, and energy is wasted on things that do not exist. By anchoring yourself in the present, you gain clarity. You see what must be done right now, and you act with intention. You do not let fear, doubt, or distraction cloud your judgment. Each action becomes deliberate, and each thought becomes a tool instead of a burden. Your mind is like a garden. If you leave it untended, weeds of fear, anger, and doubt will grow. But if you cultivate it, feed it with focus, patience, and reason, it becomes fertile ground for strength, courage, art and peace. Each morning offers a chance to water the seeds of discipline, to pull the weeds of distraction, and to shape your thoughts in a way that serves you rather than harms you. The more you practice control, the more natural it becomes, and the day no longer controls you, your mind does. The mind is like a warrior entering battle, and the day is the battlefield. If you do not prepare, if you do not train your thoughts, you will be carried away by the chaos of the world. Every day, external events, our people's opinions, and unexpected challenges try to shape your mind. They push you toward anger, fear, worry, or distraction. If you allow them, your mind becomes a reflection of the chaos outside, reacting instead of deciding, following instead of leading. But if you train your thoughts before the world has a chance to interfere, you remain steady, strong, and in control. Our training your thoughts begins with awareness. Notice the patterns of your mind. When you wake, before checking messages, before listening to the news, before speaking to anyone, observe your mental state. Are your thoughts calm or restless? Are they positive, focused, and purposeful, or scattered, anxious, and reactive? This simple awareness is the first step to training your mind. It is the moment you recognize that you are not a passenger in life. You are the driver. Once you are aware, begin to discipline your mind. The thoughts you allow to take root will guide your actions. If you feed fear, doubt, or negativity, your day will follow the same path. If you nurture courage, patience, and clarity, your actions will reflect that strength. Start with small practices. Each morning, dedicate a few minutes to setting your intentions. Decide what kind of person you want to be today. Decide how you will respond to difficulties, distractions, and challenges. By training your mind deliberately, you take control of the first moments of the day, and in doing so, you set the tone for everything that follows. The world will constantly try to train your mind for you. News, social media, conversations, and unexpected events carry messages of fear, comparison, and worry. If you do not actively train your thoughts, you absorb them unconsciously. Your energy, focus, and peace will be drained. But when you practice deliberate mental training, you see the world clearly. You recognize external influence without being influenced. You choose your response instead of reacting out of habit or emotion. The stronger your mind, the less the world can shake it. Patience is essential in this process. The mind does not change overnight. It is trained gradually, like a muscle. Each morning is a chance to exercise it. Each thought you correct, or each moment you observe and redirect, builds strength. Over time, you will notice that distractions do not pull you as easily. Criticism, obstacles, and chaos no longer have the power to dominate your mood. The day is no longer an unpredictable storm, but a sequence of moments you navigate with clarity and control. Another part of training your thoughts is choosing what you allow into your mind. Words, images, and conversations have power. Feed your mind with clarity, truth, and wisdom. Avoid mental junk that clouds focus and stirs unnecessary emotion. Protect the first moments of your day, for they determine how the rest will unfold. The thoughts you cultivate in those moments are the foundation for resilience, calm, and purpose. Remember that training your mind is not about avoiding difficulty. It is about preparing for it. Life will challenge you, test you, and push against you. A trained mind does not fear these challenges. It meets them with clarity and calm. Because it has been disciplined to act, not to react. By taking control of your thoughts first thing in the morning, you decide who you will be, how you will act, and how you will face the world. Each morning is an opportunity to shape your mind before the world shapes it for you. Your strength, your clarity, and your peace are built in these moments of deliberate mental training. By practicing awareness, discipline, patience, and careful choice of thoughts, you ensure that you lead your day rather than letting it lead you. The world is full of noise. There are people shouting, events spinning out of control, and distractions pulling at your attention from every side. But even more dangerous than the chaos outside is the chaos within. A restless, uncontrolled mind reacts to every stimulus, magnifies problems, and creates fear and confusion where there need be none. To face the challenges of the day with clarity, power, and calm, you must first silence the chaos within. Your inner state is the foundation upon which your entire day is built. If your mind is stormy, the world will feel unbearable. If your mind is calm, even the harshest challenges can be faced with strength and clarity. Silencing the chaos begins with observation. Notice the thoughts racing through your mind. Are they scattered and reactive? Are jumping from fear to anger to desire without pause? Or are they deliberate, focused, and calm? Simply noticing your thoughts creates distance between you and them. In that distance lies power. It allows you to choose which thoughts to engage with, which to let pass, and which to transform into clarity. A mind that is aware of itself is already stronger than a mind that is merely reacting to every external event. Control over the inner chaos requires discipline. Your mind will naturally drift toward worry, resentment, and frustration. These are habits, not truths. Each morning, take deliberate steps to train your thoughts. Start small. Focus on your breathing, center your attention, and remind yourself of what is under your control. Your actions, your effort, your attitude. These are yours. Everything else is external. By reminding yourself of this simple principle, you begin to calm the mental noise that makes every problem feel larger than it is. External chaos will always exist. The world is unpredictable, unfair, and often harsh. People will behave selfishly. Circumstances will shift suddenly, and obstacles will appear without warning. If your mind is untrained, these things become sources of constant stress, anger, and frustration. But a mind that has been silenced internally is not controlled by external events. It observes, assesses, and responds. It meets difficulty with reason, patience, and calm strength. The storms outside no longer have the power to dictate your mood or actions, because the storm within has been quieted. Silencing the inner chaos also requires letting go of attachment to outcomes. Many thoughts that disturb the mind are tied to desires for things to happen a certain way or fears of things going wrong. When you release the need to control what is outside your power, the mind finds peace. You can act with purpose, without being burdened by worry. You can respond to challenges with wisdom, instead of reacting with emotion. By focusing on what you can control, the inner noise subsides, leaving space for clarity, calm, and strength. Another key practice is reflection. Take a few moments each morning to review your mind. Which thoughts are productive, which are harmful, and which are simply distractions? Just as a gardener removes weeds from the soil, you must remove destructive thoughts from your mind. The more you practice this, the more naturally your mind will remain calm, even when chaos arises. Silence is not emptiness. It is focused power, awareness, and readiness. It allows you to act with precision rather than reaction. Finally, remember that inner silence is built through habit. Each morning, Choose to train your mind before the world demands your attention. Each morning, choose to focus on what matters and release what does not. Each morning, cultivate calm, clarity, and strength. Over time, the chaos outside loses its grip because the chaos within has been subdued. The mind that is silent, steady, and disciplined becomes a fortress in a world of uncertainty. Life is full of events that are beyond your control. People act in ways you do not expect, situations change suddenly, and circumstances often defy your plans. The mind naturally wants to control these things, to predict the unpredictable, and to resist what is outside its power. But this resistance creates frustration, anxiety, and wasted energy. The secret to strength, clarity, and peace is to focus your mind only on what you can control and release everything else. The moment you understand this, your energy is no longer scattered, and your actions become deliberate and powerful. What you can control is your own thoughts, your choices, your effort, and your responses. These are the foundations of freedom. No one can take them from you, and they determine how you experience every event in life. Before reacting to anything, pause and ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is yes, act with intention. If the answer is no, let it go. By practicing this simple rule, you remove unnecessary suffering and keep your mind clear. A worry about what you cannot change is wasted energy that clouds judgment and steals peace. Focusing on what is within your control requires discipline. The mind naturally drifts toward fear, desire, and attachment. You may want outcomes to happen a certain way or expect people to behave according to your wishes. When these expectations are unmet, frustration arises. But if your mind is trained to act only where it has power, disappointment loses its strength. You accept reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. You meet challenges with reason and calm, rather than reacting impulsively to every disturbance. The discipline to distinguish what you can influence from what you cannot is a daily exercise that strengthens the mind and prepares it for any trial. Releasing what is outside your control does not mean indifference or inaction. It means clarity. It means recognizing that while you cannot force the world to bend to your will, you can choose how to navigate it. People will act unpredictably, obstacles will arise, and events will unfold in ways you did not expect. Your power lies in your response, not in trying to control the uncontrollable. By letting go of the need to manage what is beyond you, your mind becomes lighter, more focused, and more effective in the areas where you truly have influence. This principle also applies to emotions. Fear, anger, and frustration often arise from trying to control what cannot be controlled. By acknowledging what is outside your power, these emotions lose their grip. You respond instead of reacting, you act with clarity instead of chaos, and your energy is directed toward progress instead of conflict. The stronger your understanding of this distinction, the more resilient and peaceful your mind becomes. Every morning offers an opportunity to practice this principle. Before engaging with the world, take a moment to focus your attention on what you can control today. Plan your actions, set your intentions, and prepare your mind to respond wisely. Release worry about what is uncertain and let go of attachment to outcomes. The world will continue to shift and change, but your mind will remain steady, focused, and strong. By consistently applying this approach, you will notice a transformation. Challenges no longer overwhelm you. Criticism no longer destabilizes you. Obstacles no longer frustrate you. Instead, you act with precision, patience, and clarity. Your energy is spent where it matters, and your mind is free from unnecessary burdens. Focus becomes power, and the practice of releasing the uncontrollable becomes a source of inner freedom, strength, and calm that carries you through every day. The strength of the mind is not created in moments of crisis. It is built quietly, steadily, or through daily practice. Each morning is a blank slate, a chance to shape the mind before the demands of the day take over. Small habits, repeated consistently, become the foundation of mental resilience, clarity, and power. These habits are simple, but their impact is profound. By dedicating even a few minutes each morning to discipline, reflection, and focus, you begin to train your mind to withstand adversity and remain unshaken. The first step is awareness. Upon waking, take a moment to observe your thoughts and emotions. Notice the state of your mind without judgment. Are your thoughts calm and purposeful, or restless and distracted? Awareness is the doorway to control. When you see the mind clearly, you can begin to direct it. Each morning, by observing yourself, you take the first step toward unbreakable mental strength. This simple act, done consistently, builds a habit of reflection that allows you to meet life with reason rather than impulse. Next comes intentionality. Choose one or two habits that align your mind with clarity and strength. It may be deep breathing to center yourself, journaling to organize your thoughts, or setting clear intentions for the day. The specific habit is not as important as the consistency and focus behind it. These small rituals train the mind to start each day with purpose instead of reaction. Over time, they become automatic, and your mental resilience grows without you needing to force it. Discipline is another essential component. The mind naturally seeks comfort, distraction, and ease. It prefers to drift into worry, anger, or indulgence. By practicing small habits each morning, you push the mind gently but firmly toward discipline. Discipline is not punishment, it is freedom. It is the ability to act with clarity, even when the world is chaotic. Each morning habit strengthens your capacity to remain steady under pressure, to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, and to act with wisdom instead of emotion. Consistency is key. The mind does not change after one morning of reflection or focus. Our mental strength is built like a muscle, through repeated effort. A few minutes each day dedicated to a meaningful habit may seem small, but over weeks and months, it compounds into unshakable power. The habits themselves become part of your identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who acts deliberately, thinks clearly, and maintains composure regardless of external events. This identity, cultivated over time, shapes your choices, your reactions, and the trajectory of your entire life. Another important aspect is simplicity. You do not need complex routines or long hours of practice to train your mind. Our simple habits done consistently have more power than elaborate rituals done sporadically. Focus on the basics: clarity, reflection, intentional action, and the cultivation of calm. Each small act of discipline in the morning strengthens the mind's ability to remain unshaken, to resist distraction, and to face challenges with reason. Finally, recognize the ripple effect of these habits. The way you begin your day sets the tone for everything that follows. A focused, disciplined, and deliberate morning creates a foundation for patience, resilience, and clarity throughout the day. Even small habits, practiced faithfully, protect the mind from chaos, guide your actions toward wisdom, and build a mental strength that cannot be broken by circumstance, criticism, or challenge. By committing to small, consistent habits each morning, you take control of your mind, and in doing so, you take control of your life. The mind becomes disciplined, steady, and resilient. It learns to focus, to release unnecessary worry, and to act with purpose. Each day builds upon the last, and the small investments in mental strength become an unbreakable fortress of clarity, courage, and power. Life will always present challenges. Obstacles appear unexpectedly, people disappoint, and circumstances shift in ways you cannot predict. The world is not designed to make life easy, and neither is it designed to protect you from difficulty. Yet every obstacle, every challenge, every moment of discomfort holds the potential to strengthen the mind. The key is not to avoid difficulties, but to approach them deliberately, to see them for what they are, and to use them as tools for mental growth. The first step in turning obstacles into strength is perception. How you view a problem determines its effect on your mind. If you see obstacles as punishments, as injustices, or as barriers that steal your peace, they will do exactly that. But if you see them as opportunities, as lessons, and as chances to grow stronger, they become allies in the cultivation of mental resilience. Every difficulty carries a hidden message. The world is teaching you patience, endurance, courage, or wisdom. By training yourself to look for this lesson, or you shift from being a passive victim of circumstance to an active student of life. Obstacles also test your discipline. The mind prefers comfort and ease. When faced with challenge, it wants to retreat, complain, or find shortcuts. But strength is built when you resist this instinct. Each time you confront a difficulty with calmness, clarity, and effort, you reinforce your mental muscles. Small victories over fear, doubt, and frustration accumulate over time. They create a mind that is capable of facing greater challenges without being shaken. Obstacles, in this sense, are the gym for mental strength. Without them, the mind remains soft, untested, and vulnerable. Another essential principle is control. While obstacles themselves may be beyond your control, your response to them is entirely within it. You cannot always prevent difficulties, but you can decide how to meet them. A calm and disciplined mind assesses the situation, identifies what can be done, and acts with reason and focus. Reaction without thought or discipline is weakness. Thoughtful action in the face of adversity is strength. By practicing this consistently, you build resilience that is not dependent on favorable circumstances. Obstacles also teach patience and perspective. Many challenges cannot be solved immediately. Some take time, effort, or repeated attempts. By accepting this, by allowing yourself to work steadily without becoming frustrated, you cultivate endurance. You learn that mental strength is not measured by speed or convenience, but by persistence, clarity, and the ability to stay composed under pressure. Perspective comes when you realize that difficulty is not permanent. Problems rise and fall, just as challenges pass. When the mind remains steady during the storm, it grows unshakable. Gratitude is another tool for transforming obstacles into strength. Difficulties often carry hidden benefits, lessons, insights, or opportunities that would not exist otherwise. By appreciating the chance to grow, you shift the mindset from resistance to acceptance. Instead of wasting energy on complaint or fear, you invest it in learning, adapting, and improving. Each obstacle becomes a teacher, and each teacher strengthens the mind. Finally, remember that obstacles are inevitable. The world will not change to suit your desires, and challenges will never disappear completely. The measure of a strong mind is not in avoiding difficulty, but in responding to it with courage, clarity, and discipline. The more you practice transforming obstacles into tools for growth, the more resilient, calm, and unbreakable your mind becomes. Difficulties are not enemies. They are the forge in which mental strength is tempered, and the mind that learns to use them wisely becomes capable of facing anything. Emotions are powerful, but they are not always wise. They arise naturally, without warning, often driven by fear, anger, or desire. The world will constantly try to provoke you, to push buttons, and to stir your feelings in ways that do not serve you. The difference between a weak mind and a strong mind is the ability to respond rather than react. Reaction is instinctive, uncontrolled, and often destructive. Response is deliberate, disciplined, and aligned with reason. Mastering this distinction is the foundation of emotional strength and mental clarity. The first step in mastering your emotions is awareness. Notice the moment a feeling arises. Observe it without immediately acting on it. Is it anger, fear, impatience? These feelings are signals, not commands. The mind that recognizes emotion without being controlled by it creates space to choose. In that space lies freedom. Reaction is the mind's surrender to impulse, while response is the exercise of choice. By observing your emotions, you gain the power to decide how to act. Discipline plays a central role in this process. The mind naturally wants to follow strong feelings. Anger demands expression, fear demands avoidance, and desire demands indulgence. But when you practice discipline, you resist the impulse to act without thought. Instead, you pause, assess the situation, and determine the best course of action. This is not suppression of emotion, it is control. A disciplined mind does not become weak by feeling, it becomes strong by choosing how to channel those feelings effectively. Another essential principle is reflection. When an emotion arises, ask yourself, what is within my control? Often, feelings are amplified by expectations, assumptions, or attachments. By focusing only on what you can influence, your thoughts, your actions, and your responses, you prevent emotion from overwhelming reason. Reflection allows the mind to separate signal from noise, to see the truth of the situation, and to act with clarity. Responding with reason, rather than reacting with instinct, creates mental resilience that cannot be shaken by circumstance. Patience is also necessary. Mastery of emotion does not happen instantly. The mind will slip into reaction repeatedly, especially under stress or provocation. Each time it does, recognize it without judgment and practice again. Over time, the habit of response replaces the habit of reaction. The more you practice, the more automatic calm and measured action become. Emotional control grows not through perfection, but through consistent effort and awareness. Understanding the temporary nature of feelings is another key tool. Emotions arise, peak, and fade. By remembering this, you prevent temporary discomfort or excitement from dictating long-term decisions. A fleeting irritation should not guide your actions for hours or days. A brief disappointment should not steal your peace. By seeing emotions as passing experiences rather than commands, the mind retains clarity and composure. Finally, the act of responding intentionally cultivates confidence. When you choose your actions, rather than being driven by emotion, you gain trust in yourself. You become capable of facing criticism without anger, challenge without panic, and provocation without fear. Your mental strength grows each time you act deliberately, proving to yourself that you are not controlled by external events or internal impulses. By training the mind to respond instead of react, you achieve freedom. You create space for reason, clarity, and composure in every situation. You learn that emotions are neither enemies nor masters. They are tools. The mind that masters its emotions can face any challenge, any provocation, and any difficulty with calmness, wisdom, and strength, and in doing so, builds a mental resilience that cannot be broken. The day begins whether you are ready or not. Events will unfold, challenges will arise, and distractions will demand your attention. If your mind is not disciplined, the world will dictate your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. You will react to circumstances instead of guiding them. But if you take control of your mind, first thing in the morning, you set the tone for the entire day. Discipline is not about rigidity or punishment. It is about preparation, clarity, and strength. The mind that is trained in the morning becomes a master of the day rather than its servant. Discipline begins with awareness. When you wake, notice your thoughts and emotions before you are swept into the business of life. Is your mind calm, focused, and ready to act, or is it scattered, worried, and reactive? This simple moment of observation is the first act of control. By seeing the mind clearly, you create space between impulse and action. That space allows you to choose how to think, what to focus on, and how to respond. It is the foundation of self-mastery. Next comes intentionality. Decide each morning who you will be and how you will act. Will you react to insults, setbacks, or frustrations, or will you remain steady and composed? Will you allow distractions to steal your focus, or will you direct your energy toward what truly matters? By setting clear intentions, you guide the mind before the external world can impose its chaos. These intentions are small but powerful acts of discipline that shape your choices and your energy throughout the day. Consistency is essential. Discipline is not a one-time effort. It is a habit cultivated over time. Each morning, through simple acts, breathing, reflection, planning, or journaling, you reinforce the strength of your mind. These practices train the mind to resist distraction, to remain focused under pressure, and to act with clarity rather than impulse. Over time, the repetition of these small actions builds resilience and mental toughness. The day will still bring challenges, but a disciplined mind meets them calmly, deliberately, and effectively. Another key aspect of morning discipline is control over attention. The mind naturally drifts toward fear, desire, and external influence. Social media, news, and conversations can scatter focus and stir unnecessary emotion. By consciously choosing where to place your attention in the first moments of the day, you protect your mental energy. You decide what is worthy of thought and what should be ignored. The stronger your attention, the more capable your mind becomes of facing challenges without being pulled off course. Discipline also means preparation for adversity. Our life is unpredictable, and difficulties will arise without warning. A mind that has been trained in the morning does not panic, does not complain, and does not react blindly. It evaluates, it plans, and it acts with reason. Morning discipline builds the foundation for this steady response. By starting the day with control, clarity, and purpose, you create a buffer against the chaos that inevitably comes. Finally, understand that discipline is freedom. A mind that is untrained is enslaved by impulses, emotions, and circumstances. A disciplined mind, however, is free to act, to think, and to respond with wisdom. Each morning, by choosing to guide your thoughts and actions intentionally, you prevent the day from controlling you. You claim your power, you set your priorities, and you face the world with calm, focus, and resilience. The mind that begins disciplined remains unshaken, capable, and strong throughout whatever the day brings.